I've heard a lot of people complaining that our protests on campus these past couple of weeks have been a waste of instructional time, are just ways of, you know, us avoiding classwork and us causing a scene. But how do you, I don't understand how you can have that view in saying that us protesting isn't changing the minds of people. There hasn't been one person that I've talked to who came to me with an open mind that I haven't been able to you know, educate and pretty much open their eyes to say a day in the life of an African American student. Oh, also, if it wasn't a serious issue, then the heads of UCSD would not be on our side as a BSU. They wouldn't be meeting with us, they wouldn't be accommodating us, and they wouldn't be funding the programs that BSU has demanded. If you don't agree with it, at this point it really doesn't matter, because the heads of the school who you are, you know, claiming to represent and say is not racist admit that there are racist policies, and they're not welcoming to minorities. I'd like to clarify that the BSU does not support the freeze on all media funding. BSU does not support. I agree that everyone has freedom of speech, just as you have the freedom to, as you have the freedom to disrespect someone all you want, but you also have the freedom to respect someone and to act cordially toward someone and to not insult them. But when people are saying, you know, I don't support what he said, but I support his right to say it, or their right to say it, speaking toward the koala, the "it" in this case is hate speech, saying you support his right to disrespect me, to humiliate my whole culture, to target me, my family, my friends, and our whole history to this day, saying that you support his right to say that. This isn't me saying, you know, I'm anti-free speech, I'm pro-equality. I'll say I'm all for freedom of speech, but don't use my money to insult me. That's all I request. You can hate black people, you can hate all minorities, you could be, you know, you could have a Confederate flag hanging from your car windows. That's you. But I'm not gonna pay for you to insult me.
I am my mother's daughter, conceived by the anguish of struggle, a product of obstacle and pain. We were never meant to survive, but my Lola walked through the streets of Edsa into the melting pot of America to keep us standing, only to bend over backwards on backs of those who have been battered, beat, and ignored, leaving me helpless because of one piece of paper. Paper that comes from trees, but how dare you have the audacity to make me feel like a tree, leaving me at a standstill because of a piece of paper that is far more important than me. You leave me hanging, heart on my sleeve, bare body, bare soul, like a victim of a noose that hung loosely on a tree that you leave me exposed. I am ignored, and to my demise, I am silenced. I choose it not be, but if words could kill, then I'd be dead, because we were never meant to survive, but I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. So basically this poem was something that I wrote as a response to the recent events. It's actually something that I'm gonna do for March 4th. And I just felt compelled to write something because there's a common misconception that it's just a black issue, but it's clearly not, because even though it has affected BSU, which is a Black Student Union, and the African American students on campus, it has personally affected me as well as other people of color, students of color in UCSD. And as a Filipino student on this campus, I feel personally attacked because my people in the 20th century, in the beginning of the 20th century, around 1920s, were also lynched. And it doesn't matter if it wasn't the same nooses that were hung on Geisel, but just the stigma that's attached to a noose that was clearly used to murder my people, to alienate my people, and kind of take us out. Clearly, like, people do it as a joke, but it's not a joke. It's out of ignorance. And that girl who hung the noose saying, oh, I didn't know, like, I didn't mean for it to harm anybody. It doesn't matter what your intention was, because intention is so irrelevant to the cause and the effect of what you have done. And I feel like that student deserves more than suspension, personally, because it's an attack to people, like people who have been underrepresented, people who still struggle to fight for their position on this campus and in this society. And I feel like it is not just a black issue, because I'm a Filipino student and I am affected.